In this video, we're going to be having a look at factorising quadratics. So in the last video, we looked at expanding brackets, which was taking a double bracket and then expanding it to give us a quadratic equation. This time, we're going to take a quadratic equation and then put it into brackets. So that's called factorising. So let's have a look at this topic. So in this topic, we need to remember an acronym. And the acronym is MAFS. M-A-F-S. So this is what we'll be drawing every time we answer a factorising quadratics question. M stands for multiply. A stands for addition. And FS stands for first and second number. So the best way to describe this method is through an example. So question 1 says factorise this quadratic, and we've got x squared plus 10x plus 25. So step 1 is to write out M-A-F-S down the side of the page. So M is multiply, and the way we get the M number is we do the number in front of the x squared, so in this case it's just 1, multiplied by the end number. So 1 times 25 is 25, and then the A number is this middle number here, so this is 10. And then we have to ask ourselves a question: what two numbers, first and second, multiply to give us 25 and also add together to give us 10? So if we pick the numbers 5 and 5, 5 times 5 is 25, and 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. The next step is to draw ourselves a pair of brackets and another pair, and then put the variable that we're considering at the start of the brackets. So in this case, we're dealing with x's, and then followed by each of the numbers. So we've got plus 5 and then plus 5. So this final answer would be x plus 5 multiplied by x plus 5. Question 2 says factorise this quadratic. Here we've got x squared minus 3x minus 40. So step 1 is to write MAFS down the side of the page. Our M value is the number in front of the x squared multiplied by the end number. So 1 times negative 40 is negative 40. The A number is this middle number here, which is negative 3. And then we think what two numbers, first and second, multiply together to give us negative 40 and also add together to give us negative 3. So these two numbers are negative 8 and 5. Negative 8 plus 5 is equal to negative 3, and negative 8 times 5 is negative 40. And we draw our double brackets. We put the variable that we're considering at the start, which is x, followed by the numbers, so minus 8 plus 5. You could also have x plus 5 and x minus 8, so the order doesn't matter. As long as one of them is x plus 5 and one of them is x minus 8, you'll get all the marks. Question 3 says factorise this quadratic. We've got x squared plus 15x plus 36. So step 1 is to write MAFS down the side of the page. Our M value is the number in front of the x squared, which is 1, multiplied by the end number. So 1 times 36 is 36. And then this A number is 15, which is the middle number in the quadratic. So what two numbers multiply together to give us 36 and also add together to give us 15? So these two numbers could be 12 and 3. 12 times 3 is 36, and 12 plus 3 is 15. So then we draw our double brackets. One of the brackets is x plus 12, and the other is x plus 3. Looking at this final question for the foundation tier. So this is a foundation topic on sheet 1, where all of the numbers in front of the x squared are 1. For higher tier, this number will be greater than 1. But for foundation tier, you'll only ever be asked to factorise a quadratic when a is equal to 1. So in other words, when the coefficient, the number in front of the x squared, is equal to 1. So we've got 1 multiplied by 12. This is our m number, which is 12. Our a number is -7, and then we've got fs. So what two numbers multiply together to give us 12 and add together to give us -7? So these two numbers could be 4 and 3, and then if we make both of these negative, then we're going to get -4 times -3, which is a positive 12, and then -4 minus 3 gets more negative, so we get -7. So one of the brackets is x minus 4, and the other bracket is x minus 3. So moving on to the higher tier topic for factorising quadratics, when the coefficient in front of the x squared is greater than 1. So you see we've got a 2 here and a 3 in question 2 on this sheet. So the same first step is applicable. We write maths down the side of the page, MAFS. The same way to get m, so the number in front of the x squared multiplied by the end number, so 2 times 2 is 4, and then the a number is the number in the middle, again, which is 5. And then we think what two numbers multiply together to give us 4, but add together to give us 5. So these two numbers could be 4 and 1. So 4 times 1 is 4, and then 4 plus 1 is 5. So in the foundation section, we then went straight into drawing the double brackets. But in the higher tier section, we need to write out the first term in the equation, which is 2x squared, and the last term in the equation, which is plus 2. And then we put these two numbers that we've just found into the equation, and then stick an x on the end. So one of them will be plus 4x, and the other one will be plus 1x. Next, we split the equation in half. So we've got 2x squared plus 4x, and then plus 1x plus 2. And then we need to factorise these two separate equations. So we bring the highest common factor out between 2 and 4, which is 2. We've also got an x in both of these terms. Inside of the bracket, we're going to get x plus 2. So double checking, 2x times x is 2x squared, and then 2x times 2 is 4x. Then we can bring a factor of 1 out to the front in the next expression, and then have x plus 2 in the brackets. So you should end up with two brackets here that are the same. So one of the brackets will be x plus 2. And if we get rid of these, so if we imagine these weren't here, we look at what's remaining. We've got 2x plus 1, and that will be our other bracket. So that is our factorised quadratic. So question 4 says factorise this quadratic. We've got 3x squared minus 11x plus 6. So step 1 is to write out MAFS down the side of the page. Our m value is the number in front of the x squared times by the end number. So 3 times 6 is 18. The a number is the number in the middle, which is -11. And then we think what two numbers multiply together to give us 18, but also add together to give us -11. So these two numbers could be 9 and 2, but if we make both of these negatives, then -9 minus 2 gives us -11, and then two negatives multiplied together gives us a positive answer. So 9 times 2 is 18. Now the next step, because the number in front of the x squared is greater than 1, is we need to write out the first term, which is 3x squared, and the last term, which is plus 6. Then we're going to put these two numbers in the middle and stick an x on the end. So minus 9x minus 2x, and then we're going to half the equation and then factorise. So we're going to bring out the highest common factor of 3 and -9, which is 3. They both have an x term in the expression, and inside the brackets we're going to get x minus 3. So 3x times x is 3x squared, and 3x times negative 3 is minus 9x. Highest common factor between negative 2 and 6, negative 2. Inside the brackets, we're going to get x plus 3. So one of the brackets will be x plus 3. Note here as well, we've got the same expression in each bracket. And then if we imagine these aren't here, we're left with 3x minus 2. So the other bracket will be 3x minus 2. And again, you could have wrote for the first one 2x plus 1 multiplied by x plus 2, so the other way around. And in this last one, you could have 3x minus 2 first and x minus 3 as the second bracket. So it doesn't matter which way around you write these brackets. So this concludes the video on factorizing quadratics. If you're new, remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this.